Well, welcome everyone, ladies and gentlemen, members of the gallery, to our 14th meeting of the year for Monday, September 25th. Note to all members of the public that all cell phones and/or PDAs to be turned off. Additionally, for your information, please be advised that we are audio-video recording this meeting. Would you all rise for the singing of O Canada and remain standing for the opening petition by Councillor Ganan. O Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love, in all thy sons command, with glowing hearts we see thee rise, not true nor strong and free, from far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Well done, everyone. Councillor Ganan, please.
We gather together here today intent on doing good work. We seek to represent fairly and well those who have given us this task. May our efforts be blessed with insight, guided by understanding and wisdom. We seek to serve with respect for all. May our personal faith give us strength to act honestly and well in all matters before us.
Welcome, everyone. We've got a full gallery tonight, and a colorful gallery, and a loud gallery. I love it. That was the best O Canada I think we've had all year. I think Councillor Balsam had to up his game in the volume there tonight. we had some nice baritone out there too as well in the crowd. Good to hear. Members of council, is there any change in order of items on tonight's agenda? Seeing none, Madam Clerk. Disclosure of pecuniary interest and/or conflict of interest. Any members of council? See none. We'll move on to requests to address items on the agenda. Is there anyone in the crowd who would like to address any items on the agenda other than the people who have the presentations or appointments? No? Okay. So we'll move on to appointments and presentations. First up, we have Mr. Mark Gainham here to do a presentation of items from the late Jim Green. As we all know, Mr. Jim Green was the town crier of West Lincoln for many years. He has since passed, but there's a special presentation from his family to be made to West Lincoln Township here tonight. Sir, take it away.
Thank you very much. I've only got 8 pages. It's all right. It's double spaced. So it's all right.
Put the timer on, Clerk.
My name is Mark Gainham, and Jim Green was my stepfather for 55 years, so needless to say, I knew him pretty well. And I was made the executor of his will. And you'll never guess how many pages as long his will was. Come on, give me a guess. Give me a number.
A couple hundred.
Oh, no, it wasn't that many. 24, that's all. So I had access to all of his stuff. We were all executors, but I was made the primary executor. So we had access to all of his stuff, his uniforms and that sort of thing there. We've cataloged it and given it to you there. So the family would like to thank Mr. Mayor and the members of the council and the people of Smithville. Because Jim just loved you people around here. He did a lot of things for you there. So on behalf of my sister, my older sister, Alina, I didn't say older, my baby sister, Charmaine, and my brother who is not here, he's moved back to Nova Scotia. He retired from the Navy and he moved back to Nova Scotia, so that's up to him. Okay. I hate writing these things up because I always get off track here. Anyway, the presentation we're giving you is there's 4 boxes there, and there's some pictures here that are important. And one of the picture that's important, I think, is this one here of my mother, she sort of sit in the background, and she did everything. She made the uniforms, and she was there with him all the time. So, we didn't have a picture of that in there, so I put some stuff. There's all duplications in the boxes for you as well. And this is the funny one here, the fire This was his picture of his passport when he came to Canada in 1956. So he looks like a pirate, that's what I say. This is all yours anyway, guys.
Thank you.
One of the other presentations that we've got is, of course, I'm out of sync here anyway. Okay, what he did is he actually was a writer. He wrote 6 books, and they're all basically related to flying, because he was a navigator in the RAF, and he became a pilot when he moved to Canada in Hamilton, got his license. I have my own license, and my nephew has his license. We're 3 pilots in the family, and I used to own my own airplane, so we used to go flying with Jim, and he loved that. I used to even let him fly once in a while, even though he used to, anyway. It was fun. It was funny. This book here, Deadly Moonlight, Target for Tonight, is a book that he wrote, and he donated it to Warplane Heritage, so that for them to make some money. We printed 3 copies off, and then nothing else happened to that. That is the only printed copy in existence at the time. So I'm donating it to the library in Smithville. We are donating it to the library in Smithville for their special collections, storage collections. Anyway, if anybody else wants any, we can get them electronically. We've got, my brother's got all of the copies of it there. Anyway. Okay, I think I probably said all that stuff there. Anyway, some of the things that he did when he was in Smithville, he was him and my mother went rally driving, and he was the navigator, so they always got lost anyway. Yeah, and anyway, my mother, that was fun. That was a sporting. He used to try and teach us how to play golf as well. That was interesting, wasn't it, Charmaine or Aaliyah? Anyway. They used to do square dancing, and he was a part-time lawyer, members of CARES, and all sorts of stuff. He was a Poppy Fund coordinator, the Legion speech coordinator with the Legion, and we were all family, we're all judges, okay? We used to have a ball for that there. And he used to write under the banyan tree, which was something that went into the Smithville Review. And he actually liked doing that. He got a little detailed with he got into a lot of detail. He liked to do a lot of research, anyway. And right now, he's, and the gentleman from the press told me that he liked him when he was in the community, and he was the honey man in the community. We'd walk around with a B cert on, and he sell it for $1.37 a ticket, and it was the worst prize you could have got, because it was a jar full of pennies, and you won it. It was full of honey. So he says it's the worst thing you could get. What you do is you take the tax write-off, which is the thing to do, because it wasn't $137 in it. Anyway, and he did much more. Okay, and one thing that Jim does, he's actually still giving back to the community there, because Jim wanted his body given to science. He wanted to become a cadaver, and he's still not with us yet. He's at Guelph University, and we won't see him for 2 years probably. And at that time, we're going to have a big party at the Legion, and all the town criers. They're gonna have fun. Yes, I did that. Oh, Mr. Mayor, I said to you before, do you have any pull around here? We actually made a granite bell. It's not arrived yet, but it's a granite bell made to the same specifications that the town of Smithville gave, or West Lincoln gave to him when he started. Mm-hmm. It's all cast, but we wanted to put it on his gravesite there. Sandy was the town crier for 34 years. I hope you can make some pull on that one there, okay? Anyway, that's it. Gentlemen, make noise. The town criers, I give it to the town criers.
Before, are you going to come up and introduce yourself and tell us we're a town crier? That'd be great.
Mr. Mayor, I'm Alan Freeman, formerly of Glanbrook, now in the city of Hamilton. Anyways, town crier. Alan George Joseph Green, Jim, and I started together 33 years ago this summer. Was a lark. It was we thought, hi, we'll just have some fun with it. And from there it grew into the Ontario Guild. He was a charter member, so am I. And over the years, it was always Jim doing this, that, the other thing. And he always was a character, and so on and so forth. The greatest tribute I think I can give him was he was a gentleman and he was a friend. And it's an honor to be here for him.
Thank you, sir.
Well, good evening. I'm David McKee. I'm town crier for the fair historic city of Brantford, the telephone city, hence I carry this antique cell phone. This is the Telbellaphone. Jim, I met Jim. In the year 1991, the Brantford Regional Chamber of Commerce, as it was called at that time, they've changed their name again. They wanted to have a town crier to help celebrate their 125th anniversary for that 1 year. And I found myself it. Well, I wanted to learn more about town crying, so I started making calls to people. I found out that there were other town criers, and I was put on to Jim, who said, oh, I'm hosting a competition in Grimsby. This was in August of 1991. And I was not officially the town crier for the city at that point, but I was for the Chamber of Commerce. So I drove to Grimsby, found a parking spot, got out, walked out onto the main drag, looked down the street, and there's this guy in the green uniform heading my direction. And so I didn't even have a scroll. I didn't know anything about town crying. I didn't even know that you should have a scroll or read anything. That's how empty I was in my alleged mind. So Jim clued me in, and he said, okay, well, we'll put you on last in the competition so you can see what people do. And so I went on last, and this bell is very nice. The one I had at that time was about this long, this high. It was a little thing like this. Might as well have been a dinner bell. And when I went up to do my cry, after listening to everybody else, I had it all figured out. Okay, I got the oh yay, oh yay, oh yay, and God Save the Queen at the end. And I was just trying to figure out something to fit in the middle. I got up there and I rang that bell, and all the town criers in the place broke up laughing. So that was my introduction to town crying. But the most important thing about Jim was he became my mentor. He clued me in as to how things should be done, and I wear a military-style uniform. He said, why don't I try doing a military-style presentation? And having been in the 42nd Medium Artillery in the 1960s, I had this, okay, I'll do a military-style presentation, very crisp and clean. And you know something? It paid off. It's become one of my calling cards. And one of the reasons that Jim just was so great. He was phenomenal, and he was the one that I learned from, and I really appreciated that man and what he was able to do. And you know, hence I carry my antique cell phone and have had a few successes with it. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, councillors, I am David Vollick from the City of Burlington, Ontario, representing the Museums of Burlington as well as the City of Burlington. I have the great privilege right now of being the current president of the Ontario Guild of Town Criers. And one of the things that I think is most important about a town crier is that they are a city's ambassador. And I think with the testimonies that we have seen tonight, both from family and from other town criers, that Jim absolutely fulfilled this for you, not only in Ontario, but around the world. Again, I think that he is going to be remembered very, very fondly. So it cannot go without one ringing of the bell, so I warn you, this is a very small room, and one oye in his honor and memory.
Well done.
In honor of our comrade, Mr. Jim Green.
presentation for you we're going to donate $1,000 towards the display for Jim's uniform and that sort of thing. Philip, just give it to the mayor, please.
Very good.
As my son.
We're actually going to go right up here, just have a little bit of a photo op. Scott wants a photo. Okay. So could we have the town criers to come, and any family members that want to come up too as well? Councilor Bell, do you have a phone, or Dave, do you, Councilor Bell, do you have a phone maybe? Please take a picture so we can tweet it out, put it on social media.
We were.
Still take pictures.
Good. Well, thank you so much for this. We will put it to good use, and this is to build like a case to.
Nice informative, yeah.
This is the lots of pictures, and some of them framed, and some of them, there's actually different pictures of it. So lots of them.
Well, thank you so much for coming out today. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Sir, thank you so much. David? Thank you. Good to meet you. So what we will do right now is we will actually use some of this material as promotional material to try and get ourselves another town crier here for the Township of West Lincoln. We have actively been trying to do that. We haven't had much success, so if we do find someone, I'm calling upon one of you gentlemen to come out and be that person's mentor, be it a male or a female. Actually, there's kind of half-heartedly a couple females that have actually shown some interest. So obviously that's permitted, right? It doesn't, it's both genders.
Very fine female town criers within the guild.
Good.
And around the world.
Good, good. That is awesome. I do want to make mention of Mr. Mark Hughes too, as well. As you know, as you gentlemen know, he's been voted the #1 crier in the World Championship that was out east somewhere. I'm not sure where it was. Mark Molnar. Okay. Oh, sorry, got his last name wrong. Okay, I'm sorry.
I was there with him.
Okay.
And he was great. And they awarded first, second, and third, but they didn't tell anybody else that Mark, so I figured I came fourth.
Okay.
23-way time.
That's awesome. As we can all attest to around the horseshoe here, whenever you met Jim, he just brought just a sparkle to your eye. He just was full of life, and I think you said it best. He was West Lincoln's town crier, but he was the perfect ambassador, not just here in Ontario or Canada, but around the world, international. And I'd like to also pay homage to the Gainham family too as well, because I do know that you really do support the Royal Canadian Air Cadets. I have 3 children who are at 62 Phantom Squadron in Grimsby, and I know that you also each year make a presentation to one outstanding cadet too as well. So it's an entire family that is constantly giving back to the community in some way, shape, or form. And I can only imagine what it would have been like to fly with Jim Green. He would have been just a hoot. I'm sure of it. You know. Oh, yeah. It must have been so much fun. So, again, on behalf of the Township of West Lincoln and all members of council, I would like to say thank you to the entire family. Thank you for giving us a piece of Jim's legacy. We are building a new multi-use recreation site. There will be a historical component to this recreation center. So between here in the vestibule of Town Hall and at the new recreation center and the historical society that houses its artifacts at the Smithfield train station, we will be presenting all of his artifacts, his pictures and his uniforms, and anything that you've given us, we'll go through the box and we'll hang it up. You're
If you can't find anything in there, you're not looking.
yeah, there's lots, I'm sure.
We document, and there's some stuff we even didn't document.
Really.
The new pictures there, there's pictures there.
And I also want to thank you on behalf of the West Lincoln Library for also donating the books that Jim wrote too as well. I'm sure there'll be people who find his books very interesting too as well.
Well, that one there, if they want the other ones aren't in print, but if they want the other ones, we can get them printed for you.
Okay. Thanks so much. Any members of council would like to make any other remarks? Okay. Councillor?
I guess the one thing I have to say is I met recently, several months ago now, with John Webster, who was also a town crier for the city of Markham now, and we exchanged many cordial remembrance of your father and to your family. And John, like many of the town criers out that way, had regaled me many times about the effort that your father put into starting something. And it's wonderful to think that here in West Lincoln is where he chose to make his home, and how much and how well he did represent us throughout the world. And we thank you for that. And as the mayor said, I think you've got the first exhibit in our new library in those exhibit halls. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks so much. Thank you, everybody, for coming out here. And we look forward to when Jim's body comes back from the University of Guelph, and we can give that gentleman a proper burial. And what a party we're going to have after that, guaranteed. Yeah. Thank you.
All his money as well.
Yeah. Thank you. We'll move on to our next appointment presentation. Judy Willems, Board of Directors member for Alzheimer's Society of the Niagara Region. She is here to talk about Alzheimer's Society annual coffee break campaign. So thank you so much, Judy.
Sorry, Mr. Mayor. I didn't mean to upset you there. But I may as well do the whole round. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks, Mark. Thank you very much. Have fun doing this right. You are.
Thank you.
Good evening. Mayor Joyner, members of council, township staff, members of the public. My name is Judy Willems. I'm a member of the board of directors for the Alzheimer's Society for Niagara Region. Thank you very much for the opportunity to appear before you this evening again this year and share information about our annual coffee break campaign, and now it's in its 22nd year. Wow. Coffee Break was originally inspired right here in the Niagara Region chapter of the Alzheimer's Society, and now it's become the longest standing national annual fundraising event for Alzheimer's societies across Canada. Thousands of coffee breaks are held every year, and since its inception has raised more than $20 million to support the work of local Alzheimer's societies. National Coffee Break Day was this past Thursday, September 21st, which this year also coincided with World Alzheimer's Day. More than 10,000 coffee breaks took place across the country that day. In the Niagara region, our campaign kicked off that day with a flag raising and barbecue at the Niagara Lake Town Hall, hosted by this year's honorary chair, the Honorable Rob Nicholson, MP for Niagara Falls. Dementia doesn't discriminate. It can affect anyone, regardless of background, education, lifestyle, or status. Dementia is also a health condition with important social implications that impacts our communities. There's often a lack of awareness and understanding of dementia, and that results in stigmatization and barriers to diagnosis and care. It's estimated that 564,000 Canadians are currently living with dementia. In less than 15 years, that number will reach nearly 1 million individuals. Alzheimer's disease, already the 7th leading cause of death in Canada, will only continue to grow as a public health concern. The annual cost to care for those with dementia is currently estimated at $10.4 billion. So Mr. Nicholson proposed a private member's bill to establish a national dementia strategy as a solution to tackling the impact of dementia. We're pleased to say that his leadership and support has resulted in Bill C-233 becoming law this past June 22nd. This private member's bill creates a Canadian Alzheimer's disease and dementia partnership, bringing together researchers, clinicians, healthcare providers, and private industry to work alongside Canadians living with dementia to develop and implement a national strategy. The overall impact of a national dementia strategy for Canada will be better local management of dementia, resulting in improved quality of life and care. In the Niagara region, there are over 9,800 people experiencing a progressive dementia, and the number of cases continues to grow. Last year, we saw almost 1,900 new referrals to our society, and at any given time, we have 750 plus families receiving service in our family support and intensive care programs. And pretty impressively, I think, we've provided education to almost 11,000 participants from the general public and the healthcare field. A recognized leader in the field of dementia care, the Alzheimer's Society of Niagara Region's mission is to advocate for people with dementia and their care partners living in the Niagara region and provide access to a diverse range of appropriate resources and supports throughout their very difficult journey, and that will assist them in remaining independent in their homes and communities longer. We offer people living with dementia a welcoming place where they can access information and support. And by the way, the location of our Alzheimer's Society offices and the community center is on the Lynnhaven property on Ontario Street in St. Catharines. And I lost my place as soon as I did that. As well as connect with others who share a similar experience. By accessing education, personalized in-home support services, and wellness programs, families can better understand dementia, navigate the health system, and access the resources they need when they need them. To support a large variety of programs, the majority of which focus on those with early stage dementia and are provided at no charge to individuals and their families, our society needs to raise approximately $500,000 each year, and Coffee Break is our signature event. So we do get funding from the LHIN, but it's not enough to cover the scope of the programs. Coffee breaks provide an opportunity to invite your coworkers, your clients, customers, friends, family, neighbors, all to come together to enjoy a cup of coffee or other beverage and even treats at a break time or another social get-together in exchange for making a donation to support the work of your local Alzheimer's Society. Hosting a coffee break is fun. It's easy to organize. It's a great social opportunity. Our society office supplies a free kit, while each host supplies the people and the location. The kit includes coffee for that first pot, supplied locally by Barclay and Todd's, promotional signage and literature, as well as a donation box. While many of the Alzheimer coffee breaks in Canada were held on the National Day, you can choose a date that is more convenient for you, since the Niagara campaign runs from September through to December. Coffee break events are held in homes, workplaces, community centers, schools, churches, city halls, retail outlets, just about anywhere you can imagine a social gathering taking place and where coffee, beverages, food, goodies can be served and a donation collected. Some of the most successful events have been a result of doing something a little different, whether it's a barbecue, open house, raffle, dress down days, selling coffee cup or forget-me-not decals, or rounding up your bill at the cash register. No coffee break event is too big or too small, and each one makes a difference in the lives of those affected by dementia living in the Niagara region. Thanks to this council and to over 150 hosts, we raised more than $77,000 last year. This year, more than ever, we hope we can count on your support to reach our goal of $100,000. Organizing or taking part in a coffee break event in your community has the potential to raise awareness and encourage discussion about Alzheimer's disease and dementia. It not only makes all of the society's accomplishments possible, but it ensures that individuals and their families, your loved ones, friends or neighbors, know that they are not alone in their journey. So consider hosting a coffee break event and make your coffee count. It's a fun and easy way to show your support for the Alzheimer's Society. Anyone can register for a free coffee break kit by calling the Alzheimer's Society of Niagara Region or by visiting the website at alzheimerniagara.ca. So thank you for your time this evening and your consideration in making a difference in your community today and making memories matter. Mayor Joyner, may I please present you with your coffee break host kit?
You may, and I'm going to ask all members of council to join me in front so Scott can get a picture. And I've got some coffee cups here, so we're going to hold them and have
That's
a
a
quick
great
picture
idea.
that way.
All right, sure.
Do you want to pull some of that out?
Oh, you know what?
There we go.
Anything better than a mirror on there?
Coffee break, there you go, now we know. Wait a minute.
Are we all in nice and tight? Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Give this to Jackie, and she'll organize it like she does every year, and
We'll get invited in for a coffee.
get invited in for coffee. Buy some tidbits. Perfect. Thank you so much. Okay, take care.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Judy. Next, we'll call up Graham Dargavel. I hope I said that right. Campaign Associate for United Way of St. Catharines and District, and Heidi Burgess, United Way Volunteer. And they're here to do a PowerPoint presentation about current projects and community impact. There is a presentation attached, members of council.
I'm Heidi Burgess. I am a 40-some-odd year born and bred in West Lincoln, in Casterville. My mother still lives on the Regional Road 9, almost as far out as you can go. At 85, she's still there and on her own. About 10 years ago, I moved into St. Catharines, and I became involved with the United Way, which covers all of West Lincoln as well. And so I sit on the campaign cabinet. I sit on the golf committee. I have worked with the community investment panel. I work with the Welcome Home Kits. I have visited after-school programs. I'm a well-rounded United Way volunteer, and I truly believe in everything that they do for our community and the 70 programs that they support in and around our area. Thank you for letting me stand up and talk to you. I spoke to most of you last year as well, but we're back to let you know what's new. Some of this will be, Mayor Joyner, you were at our campaign launch breakfast just a couple weeks ago, and we appreciate your support and everything that you do supporting the United Way as well. Your daily coffee could be worth a year's breakfast for any young person. So that's our Tim Hortons coffee, our Starbucks coffee. Well, you could get 2 breakfasts for your Starbucks coffee. So it's it's helping all of those, and it's making you feel good if you can do that. The United Way in St. Catharines and District was established in 1953, supporting 70 programs. The goal last year was $3.5 million. They reached that. Next year's 2017's goal is $3,525,000. So it's a lofty goal, but everything goes back into the community. The 2016 Impact Days of Caring are workplace campaigns. It's community donors, special events, and 163 volunteers participated in Days of Caring. That's 1,218 volunteer hours that people were giving back to their community. That's not even donating money. That's donating their time, their energy, which is just as important. We all need to be able to give back. One of the initiatives that the United Way itself does is Backpack for Kids. 27,000 backpacks in Niagara have been given back since 2002. That's a lot. This is done through corporate sponsors and Days of Caring. Algoma, I believe, is one of the larger sponsors that donate space, energy, as well as goods that go in the backpacks and make their Days of Caring, and they make a very generous donation of time and product. One of the quotes, on the first day of school, Kyle came home with his new backpack. I had tears of joy. Inside were all the items I was not able to afford because after I pay rent, bills, and buy groceries, there's nothing left. Thank you for helping my family. So it does make a difference what you do. Another initiative that the United Way does are the Welcome Home Kits. And this is something as simple as a Rubbermaid tote filled with items. These are given to people that are in transition. So they're going from shelter to actually a permanent home. And after they're trying to get first and last month's rent together, sheets for the beds or food for the table. This is just your plates, knives, forks, spoons, your cups, your mugs, a cookie sheet and a spatula, all those things that you just don't have the money to go out and buy, but you truly need to be able to cook dinner. Next slides are all those kits packed and ready to go, and these are available to anyone in need. If you know of anyone that is in need or in transition or an agency that needs it, these are all available to our local community. Next is, yes, happy volunteers helping out. Another program that the United Way does locally is free after-school programs. These are done, right now they are locally in St. Catharines or Thorold, Manchester, Reichert, which are some lower income areas of St. Catharines and Thorold. And it's not just after-school babysitting. These are helping with homework. These are recreational activities. These are nutritional snacks. And these are all done free of charge for the kids in the area. Very important. Oh, and the kids get to do lots of fun things. I've done with them, whether it's swimming, whether it's skating, which Canadian Tire donates skates so that the kids, a lot of them that don't have skates, are able to get out and skate for the very first time. It's really wonderful to watch. Participation in after-school programs is associated with increased positive outcomes, which means we're decreasing negative outcomes. Really important. Another initiative that the United Way is doing is Brushed Aside, which is dental care for those that are unable to afford it. This is no-interest loans for dental work or dentures, and priority is given to adults or seniors that are in pain or that need dentures. This is really important. There are people in our community that do not have dental programs that they can go to. There is help for them, and you need to be aware. You need to be able to let them know. So contact the United Way if you know of any agencies or you know of any individuals that do need help. They're there to help you. Getting their teeth fixed, getting dentures results in less visits to ER, more time, less time that's taken off work, and just feeling better about yourself. The United Way is excited to be selected by John Deere as a community partner for their Giving Gardens. Agencies are given the built-up gardens, and Manchester School is one of these recipients of the gardens. So the kids are not only planting, taking care, and seeing their vegetables or flowers and everything grow. So they're also seeing positive effects of what they're able to do, which is wonderful. What's new with this year's campaign, Verge Insurance Group is a new donor match. So for every new donor, if they've donated $250, Verge Insurance will donate $250. The impact then is doubled to the United Way for $500. The leadership match, to be a leader with United Way, a donation of $1,200 is required. If you can make an annual donation of $1,200, the Ontario Paper Thorold Foundation will match your gift and double that so that the United Way is seeing an impact of $2,400. It truly does make a huge difference if you're able to do that.
Which is really neat because Thorold Paper isn't even in existence anymore,
That's
really.
right. And this is a foundation from the proceeds of that, and they have come forward to help with the United Way because they realize the impact that they can do. The next slide's going to say thank you, but I'm not done with you yet. Mayor Joyner, I don't know whether you're aware or not, but Niagara-on-the-Lake, Mayor Lord Pat Dart has laid down a challenge.
Yes, he has. We talked about it just today, the clerk and I.
Perfect, because if you haven't seen it, I was going to send you the link and make sure that you are aware. So there is a challenge out to all municipalities that to increase their workplace campaigns, and those that increase their campaign the most will be the winner, but the true winner is the United Way and all of the 70 agencies that they actually support. So if you don't have a workplace campaign and you're going from zero, you're already way ahead of Pat Dart.
And that's what I told him, so I'm hoping we're in. So.
So you work on that. It doesn't take much, so I hope you can do that. The other thing that I like just to let you know, because I have born here, grown up here, and my heart is here, that if you know of any agencies that are in need of funding, please contact me. I've left my card, my information. So even if you don't want to call the United Way, even though he's very helpful, call me and I will guide you through any process and make sure that you get any agency that's here and that needs help, needs funding, needs anything that the United Way can fund or do, so that we're getting as much support out here in West Lincoln and not all of it in St. Catharines, which is easier for them. I'm an advocate for West Lincoln, and I'm here to help.
Very good. And we thank you for being an advocate for us out here in the West End. It does sometimes seem to be a little bit St. Catherine Thorold centric, but I remind people all the time it's just a phone call away and just an application to be written out, and you too can receive the benefits from United Way because, you know, it's St. Catharines and district, and we're part of that district, so I'm proud to be. So any questions from members of council? Councillor Bell?
I'd like to thank you for the presentation. It was very good, again. I do have a question, though. Dealing with the after-school program, right now you're in St. Catharines and Thorold. Are there plans to expand that to the rest of the region
It will be
in time?
people and funding. Right now, they use a lot of volunteers from the Raft. Would that be?
Okay.
That are the counselors and that are helping. So it's a matter of being able to coordinate the whole program. But if you can find a school and an area where there's a need, then yes, we would present it.
Thank you.
Which is a very good point. And we are somewhat in the loop in the fact that I see here on page 14 and 15, if you turn to your big book, councillors, that the United Way does give money to the Fort Foundation of Resources of Teens of West Niagara, and we're a part of that. Also, the YMCA of Niagara, our YMCA is in the municipality of Grimsby, or for all of West Niagara. I know that going into Autism Ontario, we have autistic kids here in West Niagara who take part. Bethlehem, Big Brothers, Big Sisters. So even though perhaps maybe the funding is not coming directly all the time, indirectly we have access through these many different organizations on page 14 and 15. St. John's Ambulance is one too as well. And I can also think of the Niagara Regional Learning Center, which is a Literacy for Life center too as well. I know of young people that take part.
And that's what I would ask, is that any of you make sure you share that with any of your constituents that you're talking to. Let them know that services are available, that you can, there is help out there. You just have to seek it out and find your way through.
Yeah.
And I will help with that.
We are able to, if anyone contact our office, we're able to give you a list of programs that were accessed by residents of West Lincoln, like the ones you just listed there.
Right.
We have about 5 municipalities.
Okay, that's awesome. Thank you so much for the presentation here tonight. United Way does great work. I love going to the kickoff breakfast every year. It's so
Well organized.
Well, not only just well organized, it is that too. But I mean,
Yep.
it is. It's very uplifting too as well. You always have great guest speakers, and you speak to the heart of the community. So I enjoy going to it every year.
I would like to add that the guest speaker last year was Lauren Gretzinger and his daughter. So, which Cheryl Gannan, I know, is very familiar with.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. Okay. Members of council, that is it for tonight's appointments and presentations. We will now move on to confirmation of minutes. Council minutes, regular minutes, August 21st, 2017. Confidential minutes are under separate cover. Councillor Bell, you have that resolution, please.
Yes, I do. Moved by myself, seconded by Councilor Bilsma, that the minutes of the open session portion of August 21st, 2017 regular council meeting be accepted, and that the confidential minutes relating to the closed session portion of August 21st, 2017 regular council meeting be accepted, and that the minutes remain confidential and restricted from public disclosure in accordance with the exemptions provided by the Municipal Freedom of Information and Protection of Privacy Act.
Councilors, you've heard the resolution moved by Councillor Bell and seconded by Councillor Bosma. Is there any questions or comments? Seeing none, I'll call the vote. All those in favor? And that is carried. Thank you. We'll move on to Council Minutes Special, September 11, 2017. Councillor Bosma, you have that resolution.
Moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Bell that the minutes of September 21st, 2017 special council meeting be accepted.
It's okay. Councilors, you've heard that resolution moved by Councillor Bosma and seconded by Councillor Bell. There is a correction. It's September 11, 2017. Are there any questions or comments? Seeing none, I'll call the vote. All those in favor, and that is carried. Thank you. We'll move on to C, public meeting under the Planning Act, September 11, 2017 minutes. Councillor Gannan, you have the resolution.
I do, thank you. Moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Bell that the minutes of the public meetings held on September 11th, 2017, under Section 34 of the Planning Act, with respect to A, zoning bylaw amendment, John S. Verdonk, file number 1601-001-17, be accepted.
Councilors, you've heard that resolution moved by Councillor Gannan and seconded by Councillor Bell. Is there any questions or comments? Seeing none, I will call the vote. All those in favor? And that is carried. Thank you. There are no communications for tonight. Next on the list is Mayor's remarks. Just quite simply want to say that we have many, many outstanding churches in our community of West Lincoln. I happen to be able to go to attend on behalf of the township the 50th anniversary for a church on Regional Road 69, St. Anne's Community Church. On Saturday night, they were celebrating their 50th anniversary. There was a nice service, and afterwards they had a nice dinner, and people got up to speak about what they remember about the last 50 years. It was quite comical at times. Some of the younger lads who are now growing up to be men talked about the time when they were in vacation Bible school and in Sunday school, and how they raised a little heck over the years at St. Anne's Community Church. So I just wanted to mention that. I want to wish best wishes to Willow Tree Studios as well. They had their grand opening this month. Very, very well attended. There had to be upwards of 20 to 25 to 30 young mothers and fathers and lots of strollers. Right, Councillor Bell, Councillor Gannan out there. So it was very well attended. And I also want to say thank you to the Smithville Christian Reformed, I don't know if I got that right, the Town Line Church, Smithville Christian Reformed Church. They had the groundbreaking ceremony a couple Sundays ago too as well, and that was it was moving actually because, you know, the circle of life. There were many families there that had their first christening, their first baptismal. Obviously, many families were married in that church, and of course, the circle of life. There were many funerals in that church, so it was hard to see that that would be their last service. But a lot of people were looking to the future, and their new build coming up and is being built as we speak right now. So those are my remarks for the month of September. We will move on to report of committee. First off, we have the Planning, Building, Environmental Committee, September 11, 2017 minutes. Confidential minutes are under separate cover. And Councillor Chichuk, you have that resolution, please.
I do. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Trombetta that the minutes of the open session portion of the September 11th, 2017 Planning, Building, Environmental Committee meeting be accepted and recommendations contained therein be approved, and that the confidential minutes relating to the closed session portion of the September 11th, 2017 Planning, Building, Environmental Committee meeting be accepted, and that the minutes remain confidential and restricted from public disclosure in accordance with exemptions provided in the Municipal Freedom of Information and Protection of Privacy Act.
Thank you, Councillors. You've heard the resolution moved by Councillor Chichuk and seconded by Councillor Trombetta. Is there any questions or comments? Seeing none at this time, all in favor? And that is carried. We'll move on to Administration, Finance, Fire Committee, September 18, 2017 minutes. Confidential minutes are under separate cover. Councillor Bell, you have that resolution.
I do. Moved by myself, seconded by Councilor Bilsma, that the minutes of the open session portion of the Administration, Finance, Fire Committee meeting held on September 18, 2017 be accepted, and that the recommendations contained therein be approved, with the exceptions of items, and there was none, and that the confidential minutes relating to the closed session portion of the September 18, 2017 Administration, Finance, Fire Committee meeting be accepted, and that the minutes remain confidential and restricted from public disclosure in accordance with the exceptions provided by the Municipal Freedom of Information and Protection and Privacy Act.
Councillors, you've heard the resolution moved by Councillor Bell and seconded by Councillor Balsma. Is there any comments or questions? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor? And that is carried. Thank you. The definition for reconsideration is before you. And sorry, Public Works Recreation Arena Committee, September 18th minutes. Councillor Trombetta, you have that resolution, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Chichuk that the minutes of the Public Works Recreation Arena Committee held on September 18, 2017 be accepted, and that the recommendations contained therein be approved with the exception of items.
Okay, thank you, councillors. You've heard the resolution moved by Councillor Trombetta and seconded by Councillor Chichuk. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, I will call the vote. All those in favor? And that is carried. Okay, as I said, the definition for reconsideration is there for your viewing pleasure, as well as notice of motion to rescind. Other business, Director of Planning and Building, Mr. Brian Treble, memo, Development Agreement Bylaw, Certain Things Holding Incorporated, name change and add mortgage holder. This is just for your information. B, Director of Planning and Building, Mr. Brian Treble, memo, Site Plan Agreement Bylaw, here it is right here, the Smithville Christian Reformed Church, to add the mortgage holder. That is also for your information. Now we'll move on to C, Member of Council remarks. I'll start on my left. Councilor Trombetta.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I got, thank you. I got a phone call. And
Can you use your microphone, Councilor, please? Thank you.
A lot better. I received a phone call. I guess there was a lot of tournaments at the Leisureplex this weekend, and I was wondering, because myself, I was there, but not on a weekend, but not during a tournament. When I was there, the facilities were not opened on the weekend, the actual washrooms there. And there are portable washrooms that are on the site there. And there were a couple complaints about the conditions of those because of it's a lot of people coming in and out. So I was just wondering, and wasn't aware that our directors weren't here tonight. So I was just wondering what is the protocol from having the facility open to the obviously the actual John on the spots that are out there, right? So maybe you or yourself or maybe on the councillors of Ward 3 maybe have more handle on obviously Leisureplex and give me an answer, but I was hoping or staff can give me an answer. But I did receive a couple of phone calls about the unfortunate facilities, so I hope we
Not
can
being
get
open.
that- Not
Okay.
being open and stuff.
That is very unfortunate. Madam Clerk, interim CAO, Ms. Langley, you don't have to respond, but if you could just find out the information and what is proper process and protocol when tournaments are being held at the Leisureplex. And I would imagine there was probably, 4 or 5 pitches being used?
Yeah, there's that many pitches, and I know that there's only 2 porta potties that are on the
Right.
site. So there's a lot of people coming in. I
For
don't
sure.
think it's enough for the capacity for the tournaments that are going on. Maybe if we could get the staff to look into that issue and hopefully to make it
Duly noted.
a better environment for all the
Yeah.
people attending.
Yeah, Ms. Langley will get you that information. Okay. Councillor Chichuk?
I guess really for me, it's only to say that I want to congratulate the West Niagara Fair Board on a success again this year. The weather was great, and the fair certainly brought out a lot of people. And I know they're still trying to figure out what new events should happen there, but there were some new events for young people as well as for older people, and I think that everyone had a great time. And the other thing I wanted to make mention of was that this weekend is a special weekend here in West Lincoln, and I'll leave you to make the rest of that announcement. But I hope to see people out here doing their crafts and taking part in the activities.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Ganan?
Thank you. I just want to also give a bit of a mention to the Niagara Palette Open House and Tour
Oh, yeah, good.
that took place this past Friday. It was a very, very interesting tour, well done and well presented with demonstrations of the various things that they do there, obviously providing many jobs to citizens and residents of West Lincoln. In particular, I want to publicly thank them because their barbecue that was put on by Country Boys also benefited West Lincoln Community Care. And so we're very happy to be the recipients of that contribution as well. So thank you.
Okay. Councillor Bosma? You good? Okay. Councillor Bell?
Well, between yourself and Councillor Gadan, I don't have a lot to say now. But I would like to thank Niagara Palette for the open house that they put on. It was a tremendous turnout. And also share in their future plans to expand their operation. And by doing so is going to create more employment. So I'd like to thank them for that also. As far as our Harvest Roots goes on Saturday, it's with regrets that I'm not able to attend. We really look forward to going to it every year. But I have another event. It's my mother's 90th birthday, so
Wow.
we'll be attending that instead. So,
Very good. Wish her a happy birthday for us.
thank you.
Good. As Councillor Chichuk alluded to earlier, this Saturday is a special day at West Lincoln. It is our annual Harvest Roots. It's a celebration of all things arts and culture. We like to thank the partnership that we've developed over the years with the District School Board of Niagara, as all 3 of the events, both here in Smithville and in Caister Centre and Gainsborough, will be happening at the sorry, I'm wrong in saying that. College Street is in Smithville. Gainsborough Public School will be having an event, but the third one in Caister Centre will be at the Abington Community Centre. And if you haven't signed up, please try to sign up. I know that there's a few spaces left, but they're very limited depending on the time that you want to enjoy these crafts. So I hope to see as many people from West Lincoln out. They've been very successful in the past. And at this time, I'd also like to thank the Niagara region, the Niagara Investment in Culture, as they supply the money, some of the money for the Township of West Lincoln in order to have this Harvest Roots event. So, okay, very good. We'll now move on to new items of business, are only for items that require immediate attention, direction from council. They must be first approved and motion to introduce a new item of business. Are there any at this time? Seeing none, we'll move on to bylaws. And Councillor Balsma, take a big sip of water. You have all of them.
I can read a bunch of numbers. Moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Bell that leave be granted to introduce bylaws 2017-96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, and 105, and that the same shall be considered to have been read a first, second, and third time with one reading and are hereby adopted, and That the mayor and clerk be and are hereby authorized to sign and affix the corporate seal thereto, any rule of this council to the contrary notwithstanding.
Councillors, you've heard the resolution for the bylaws, moved by Councillor Bosman and second by Councillor Bell. Is there any questions or comments about tonight's bylaws? Seeing none, I'll call the vote. All those in favor? And that is carried. Okay, we will be moving into confidential matters. Councillor Chichuk, you have that resolution, please.
I do, Mr. Mayor, and thank you very much. Moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Trombetta that the next portion of this meeting be closed to the public to consider the following pursuant to Section 239, Sub 2 of the Municipal Act 2001. A property matter, lease agreement. Applicable closed session exemptions would be a proposed or pending acquisition or disposal of land by the municipality or local board, and 2, litigation or potential litigation, including matters before administrative tribunals affecting the municipality or a local board.
Thank you. Councillors, you've heard the resolution. Moved by Councillor Chichuk and second by Councillor Trombetta. All those in favor? And that is carried. Okay. This is going into confidential now, sir. So yes, we'll be closing it to the public. Is there something that you missed or wanted to talk about?